What are 5 things that you need to look for if you are thinking of starting a network marketing company, or you're thinking of leaving your current network marketing company and you're wondering if there's something else out there that's better? So for those of you that know me, my name is Julie Reynolds. I've been in the industry for over a decade, and I do a ton of coaching for network marketers on how to build their business on YouTube. And so I've worked with so many different companies, which has been fantastic. And what I see is there's some common themes that you want to be looking for when it comes to picking out the right company to grow your business. Now, like I say, when it comes to marriage, it takes more than love to make a good marriage successful. It takes more than having a love for products to make a good business model, right? Well, of course, you've got to love the products, but you also want to make sure that you are analyzing things from a business perspective to see if it's the right fit for you. So when I first got started in this network marketing space, I was kind of ignorance on fire. I had no idea. It was the first person that had asked me if I was open to taking a look at the opportunity. And I was like, oh, okay, what is this? And I didn't do my research. And so when I moved companies about 5 years later, I was really much more knowledgeable about what it takes in order to have a successful business. And I want to share with you some of the strategies that I look for, that I've seen, that I know work to make it so that you can have the most successful network marketing experience. Because like I said, it does take more than just having incredible products in order to be successful. You want to make sure that you're looking at a lot of things. And I'm going to dive into probably the most important one at the end of this video over here, and one that you probably aren't even thinking about. Now, number one, the first thing that I am a little bit biased, but when I first got started in this network marketing space, I did not have a monthly consumable product. I had a product that took several months for customers to go through in order for them to then go and reorder. And so what I felt like is that I was always having to constantly get more and more customers because my other customers weren't coming back for 3, 4, 5 months later, right? So you want a monthly consumable product. And when I switched over to a monthly consumable product, I can tell you it has been a game changer for my business. Yes, of course, I'm always looking for new customers and, trying to build my customer pod, so to speak. But I know that I always have that reoccurring income from my sales because my products are monthly consumable. Or if you're like in a membership program or something like that, or some type of services, is there a monthly component? It's really, really important, I think, not just for you, but also for the team that you're either future building or that you are, that you currently have that's looking to move over with you, right? I feel like the most successful companies out there are ones that do have monthly consumable products. The second thing that you really want to make sure that they have in place when you're looking to join a company is, what are their onboarding systems? What type of systems do they have in place to help you succeed? Because again, it's not just about you. You might be a go-getter and you're like, well, I don't really need any help, right? Like, I know what I need to do and I know that I'm going to go and do these things. But what are the systems in place for that future team, right? So when you're looking to join a network marketing company, you've always got to be thinking like a leader. Even if you're not a leader yet, you will be a leader, especially if you stay consistent with it. And I've got a ton of videos that are going to help you recruit, build your business. So definitely make sure you subscribe to this video. And I'm also right over here going to link for you a video that I made on how I've recruited hundreds of people in my network marketing company. And so I think that video could be really, really helpful for you. All right. Now, it's really important, like I said, you have some sort of onboarding process. And what does that look like? I want you to look at the systems that they have in place, and it's okay to ask questions. When you are interviewing somebody that is your upline or your potential upline, it's okay to ask those questions. In fact, I strongly recommend that you do ask questions, because just like they're interviewing you, you're interviewing them to see if it's a good fit, right? So when I have somebody that's looking to join my company, it's an equal conversation. I appreciate the questions, and I too am going to ask them questions because I want to make sure that we're a good fit for working together. So asking them questions like, number 2, what type of systems do you have in place? What is your onboarding process is really, really key, because you want to know that you are going to have tools in place in order to be successful. So for instance, like my company, we use the ATM method, ad tag method. We've got it done for you post. We've got a whole launch formula that has had people have massive success when they go and they follow it. And that has been the key, right? We've got it all organized for them. All of it is there. If you're at all interested in the company that I'm with, in the description of this video, I'm going to leave a link for you. You and I can have a conversation over on over on Facebook. It's probably the easiest place to connect with me, but I will leave for you at the end of this video Modere and why I have chosen to stay with Modere for the past 6 years and what it's done for my business and my life. So I'll leave that here at the end of this video to help you if you are in fact looking for a new opportunity. Now, the third thing that I think that you need to look for, especially in today's day and age going into 2025, is there a social media presence? Are they teaching you to brand yourself, not your company? Do they know how to build on social media? Are they teaching you about online marketing and social influencer marketing? And do they have, like I said, those systems in place, right? So what I've seen happen so many times is so many of these companies, they just don't understand social media. And more people want to build from the comfort of their phone. They don't necessarily want to be doing house parties and meetings like that. So it's really important, especially not just for you, but for your team, that there's a heavy social media focus, because that really is the way to build today. Right? Now, the other thing that I'll just add over there with the social media focus and what I love about, Modere and the companies that I partner with is that I don't have to keep inventory. I certainly don't want to sit there and mail products to people, because that takes away from the business activities that I need to be doing in order to grow my business, right? So definitely make sure that you have a social media focus and one company that, probably, unless you really like to mail things and you think that your future team would like to mail things, one that is a done for you where there's zero inventory that needs to be, taken into effect. Now, the fourth thing that I think that you need to look at when it comes to building your business is the longevity of the company. For me personally, I don't want to do a startup. I think startups are too risky, and I am a risk taker in some things, but I'm definitely not a risk taker when it comes to business and it becomes my first income stream, right? So if you have big goals to make network marketing successful, I definitely recommend that you look at the longevity of the company and don't just necessarily go with a startup. Startups are just that. There's a ton of roadblocks in the way. There's a ton of hiccups. There's a ton of setbacks. And quite honestly, most of them end up failing. And so you don't want that for a real business model. There's other places that you can be risky in your life, but for me, for my main income stream, I want to know that it's stable, right? So I'm looking for not only the longevity of the company, making sure that it's not a startup, but making sure that it's also not like a company that every single person has ever heard of before, and that everybody has a rep from that company. So there's like that sweet spot, right, where you're like kind of like in that momentum stage where it's like, oh, I've heard of that company probably, but I don't know much about it, or wow, I've never really heard of that company, but there's a large representation of reps out there, right? So I think that that's also really important. You've got to ask yourself, are you wanting to be a risk taker? Do you want to do a startup, or do you want to look for more of like a longer company that has been around a little bit longer, that is a little bit more stable, the hiccups have been ironed out for you? Is that something that's important to you, right? Like a real legacy company, but not a legacy company that's, totally off the charts. And then the last thing, and then I got my bonus one over here too as well. So definitely make sure you subscribe, because I put out content like this all the time that's going to help you. But the last one is the leadership. Do you have an active upline? Do you have somebody that's in the trenches with you? And that is an okay question to ask the person that you're interviewing. How involved are you with your team? Do you show up daily? Are you there for me if I have questions? Are you there to help my team? Those are all really important questions to be asking, because a lot of times what I see is I see people join these influencers online and it sounds great on paper, and maybe they do some trainings like this, but then they're not really very active at the company, and so they kind of feel like they're left high and dry. So it is okay for you, like I said in the beginning of this video, to interview the person that you want is your potential upline. See how involved they are. See what type of systems they have in place. Those are all really, really important questions to be asking, right? And then finally, the last thing that I think that you need to really understand is the comp plan. Okay. Not all comp plans are made equally, right? Do you have a binary comp plan? Do you have a unilevel comp plan? Those are all really good questions to understand. For me personally, I don't love the binary comp plan. I don't think I would ever join a company where you have to balance your legs and worry about the balancing. That to me does not sit right. And that sounds really, really hard, especially if you get put on a leg that is not balanced and you're not making any money, right? So make sure that you are really analyzing the comp plan. I know that it's so hard. I know that a lot of times it's hard to figure out like what it is. It's like you almost need like an economics degree, but make sure that you're asking your questions. Make sure you're asking, what is the average cart order? How many customers do people have? Do they have business builders? All of those things are super duper important in understanding, and then knowing that, you've got answers to your questions, and then you're understanding the comp plan. For me, what made Modere really, really special and really different and unique was that we had two different comp plans, right? We had one for the team building side, the traditional network marketing side, and then one for the affiliate marketing side, which is where you don't have to have a team and you just have to sell products, right? So make sure that you really understand the comp plan, how it works, compare them. If it's a binary, if it's a more multi-tier level comp plan, you want to know those questions. And these were things that I wish I would have known beforehand when I first got started in network marketing that I didn't know to ask, because I really just felt like all comp plans were the same, and that's really not the case. You want to make sure that you've got one that's advantageous for you and that can be financially beneficial. So I hope that this was helpful. Definitely make sure you like and follow, subscribe to this channel so that you never miss out on another episode of Julie Reynolds TV. And like I said, if you do want to talk more about the company that I'm with, in the description of this video, I'm going to put for you a link to talk to me personally over on Facebook so that we can communicate and see if Modere would possibly be a good fit for you. But you can also take a look at my videos over here as well, and it'll kind of paint a picture for you of what Modere is. So anyways, this is Julie Reynolds for another episode of Julie Reynolds TV.